All right, Brandon, we're in Boulder. We're over a mile high and a big Pac-12 tilt for you. Pac-12 After Dark on this Sunday night. It's the Colorado Buffaloes in desperate need of a win against number 25, USC, as the Buffs take their home floor here at the Coors Event Center tonight, along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. It's pivotal for both sides. They really, both SC and Colorado, need a win.
It's do or die for both clubs. SC lost 3 out of their last 4. Buffs haven't even posted their first conference win. Somebody's got to get something tonight.
Well, for USC, they began the year at 14-0, their best start since 1971. However, they have lost 3 of their last 4 games coming in here tonight. They're still without Benny Boatwright, probably their top player, and Jordan McLaughlin needs to come through big.
He has to come through big, and he's got the skill set to do it. He really makes it happen for the Trojans. With the ball in his hand, sometimes he doesn't need any help at all. Just a great one-on-one player. There you see the nice move and the floater, but a lot of times they put him in combinations where he's working. Here you'll see him draw and create something off a ball screen. He knows how to hold the ball, wait till somebody opens up, and then he makes it happen. And then there's other times where he just basically doesn't need any help. He's got such a quick first step. You have to respect it so he can open himself up for the 3. And then their bread and butter offense, that pick and roll. He knows exactly what to do, holds the ball, and sets up the bigs as he turns the corner. And that's what makes SC's offense work.
On the other side for Colorado, they're 0-4 in Pac-12 play. The schedule makers did them no favors. They need the seniors to step up, Derek White and Xavier Johnson.
4 fifth-year seniors. They're going to need some help from Gordon and King tonight, but a lot of experience. The Buffs have to turn it on.
So Colorado was at 10-3 entering conference play, but they've dropped 4 straight. And coming off a tough loss here to UCLA on Thursday, where the Bruins hit 19 three-pointers in the game. The opening tip controlled by Colorado. USC was trounced in Salt Lake City by Utah, as the Utes blistered the nets at 55%. George King up and under. Travel. Michael Reed, Chris Rastatter, Larry Spalding. A terrific crew we have for you working this game tonight. They're the starters for USC. Is the first start for Charles Buggs, the grad transfer from Minnesota, who came to USC in August, as Andy Enfield trying to search for the right combination and giving Buggs a chance in the starting lineup tonight in the absence of Boatwright.
He's got that tall front line for Colorado, so we'll see if he'll be able to help out on the glass and possibly some inside scoring.
Chimezie Metu, who's really been playing well as of late. He was the only Trojan in double figures in that game against Utah on Thursday. Starters for Colorado and Tad Boyle, and again, DeLeon Wright in the starting lineup, the freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Xavier Johnson from the wing.
You know, Roxy, I think he's one of the most complete players in the conference in terms of size, his ability to shoot, plays at a very high level. They got to get more out of him.
Freshman DeAnthony melts into the basket for USC. Trojans at 15-3 overall, but just 2-3 in the conference, as they went unbeaten in non-conference play for the 6th time in USC history. Here is Xavier Johnson, working against Buggs, and he floats it up and over the leaping Chimezie Metu.
That's just a nice one-on-one play. You're not going to send a second defender. He's going to have that available all night. Like I said, so talented. There you see the jump shot followed by a nice post move.
The 5th-year senior who missed all of last year with a torn Achilles tendon. Deflected out off of Charles Buggs, and it's a Colorado ball. Tad Boyle in his 7th year here at Boulder. He has 5 of Colorado's 9 20-win seasons. And he has 6 career 20-win seasons. Also spent 4 years just down the road at Northern Colorado in Greeley. Transfer Derek White from Colorado Springs, where he was a 2-time Division II All-American. Again, they go inside, and Xavier Johnson can't get the roll. And it's tracked down by DeAnthony Melton. Here come the Trojans. Jordan McLaughlin can't handle it in the corner to give away. Andy Enfield, his 4th year at USC. Also 2 years at Florida Gulf Coast, where he went to the Sweet 16 and made Dunk City famous with Florida Gulf Coast. 100 career wins entering tonight for Andy Enfield is Dominic Collier in the game, the junior from Denver checking in, who's had a slow start to the year. He missed 9 games with a foot injury. Also, Nick Rakocevic, a freshman from Chicago, was in, number 31 for USC. And Wesley Gordon traveled.
Both teams with a couple of turnovers in the opening minutes. Colorado having great post opportunities, just a matter of bad footwork, and then SC throwing the ball away the last 2 times down the court.
To whistle off the ball to hold against the Buffs. And the foul called against George King of Colorado. Junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. As King, who played as a true freshman, then redshirted, coming off a terrific year last year. Loose ball picked up by Charles Bubbs. Rather, Jordan McLaughlin, and a timeout taken by USC to save the possession.
Great defense there by the Trojans. Jump that pick and roll with Jordan McLaughlin. Don't let him see the court. Forced to call the timeout.
The USC Trojans 15-3 and just 2-3 in conference play after a 14-0 start to the year. But they lost 3 out of 4. They got off to their best start since 1971. And their current RPI, the RPI likes USC at number 33. Even with the conference struggles, they played a pretty good non-conference schedule. And it's hard when you look at USC in terms of how the selection committee looks at them, because they haven't had Benny Boatwright since late November.
Right, you're looking at a great win-loss record, some quality wins, and they're struggling a little bit in conference play, but any team minus their best player is going to have those types of issues.
In all likelihood, Benny Boatwright still a couple of weeks away with a sprained MCL in his left knee. Here's Chimezie Metu spinning in the key. Terrific move by Metu.
Wow, that's a great spin, but most importantly, he's got that nice feather touch in the lane. Nobody's up there. He's all by himself when he goes up to shoot that jump hook.
See why the NBA scouts like him. His potential as George King knocks one down from long range. First lead for Colorado. Inside to Rakocevic, has to deflect it out by King, and it stays with USC. And Benny Boatwright was having a terrific beginning to the season. And then he was hurt in late November with that MCL sprain, and they're hoping it's just a couple of more weeks before they get it back. And a travel called against the Trojans. Third turnover against USC in the early stages.
You know, excuse me, you talk about Boatwright, he's a 17-10 guy, so that's an instant impact player. And you hope SC can continue to play well in his absence, because when he gets added into the mix, they're immediately going to be a lot better.
And the USC team that was picked to come in 7th in the preseason poll after they lost Julian Jacobs from last year and Nikola Jovanovic. As a 3 knocked in by Derek White. And those 2 players leaving early, and Andy Enfield didn't necessarily expect those guys to go.
Not at all. When you expect to build a program, you got guys who, you know, take options that probably may not have been the best at the time, but you still have to continue to work and build a team. But you're absolutely right. That devastated the roster and changed things dramatically.
Miss from Elijah Stewart, who's had a rough go of it as of late for USC. As Derek White well off the mark, out of bounds to USC. Colorado, the early lead on the USC Trojans. Some Pac-12 hoops for you this Sunday night for Boulder.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by One-A-Day Men's and Women's and Walt Disney World Resort. The magic is endless.
Not the swiftest of chairlifts right there. 10-6 Colorado, but plenty of great skiing, of course, here in the Denver surrounding areas. That's what the Buffs have done so far this year in that terrific win here against Xavier. And with Colorado, it's hard to evaluate them in league play, Corey, because of how tough their schedule has been to start the conference. They played 3 straight road games to open up conference play at Utah, and then the 2 Arizona schools. and then lost here to UCLA on Thursday night. So you look at the schedule, the hardest part of the schedule is probably out of the way for Colorado.
It certainly is. I think the loss at Arizona State was the one that they definitely didn't expect, but a game like today is one where you have to establish that rhythm, get a win, and defend your home court from here on out. And this is a club that has a great opportunity to possibly sweep a couple of road trips coming up in the next few weeks.
There's a little bit of a delay because of ice that's on the floor. No, it did not come from the slopes of the chairlift that you just saw. So they're having trouble summoning somebody to clean this up so we can resume play. 10-6 Colorado leading with 15:21 to go here in the first half at the Coors Event Center. While we have a chance, Big Monday's coming up. A doubleheader for you tomorrow on ESPN. We start the ACC with number 11 North Carolina hosting Syracuse at the Dean Dome at 7. Then at 9 we take it to Ames and a Big 12 showdown between number 2 Kansas and Iowa State, as the Cyclones looking for a little Hilton magic tomorrow night. Both games also streaming live in the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. But a big week of Pac-12 play coming up in USC. They'll head home to take on the Arizona schools this weekend. The Bay Area schools, Cal and Stanford, head to the Northwest to take on the Oregon schools. While Tad Boyle and his Buffs are hoping to get a win here on their home floor tonight and use that momentum into a road trip to the Pacific Northwest and against Washington State. We got a lot of mopping going on over there.
I love it, Roxy. These young men out here, little young kids with the mops in their hand. Who says there's a problem with the young generation?
You didn't volunteer to help.
It's not my job description, buddy. I've mopped before, and it's overrated.
Really?
Yes.
I would like to see that, actually.
Oh, yes.
Because you know I don't do that. And my wife can attest to that. So that's why we have a little bit of a delay. And it appears we have everything cleaned up. And there's a little bit of snow outside, not too much. And do we still have some more on the floor, as Tony Bland, a USC assistant coach, points out? We might have a little more condensation on the floor here. And unlike some arenas, no, there is no ice underneath. This is not a dual-purpose arena where they play hockey.
See the Buff fans pointing out all the ice on the Colorado end of the court.
Home floor advantage?
I think so.
Of course, he's got the towel going, but he's shielding his Buffalo. He's not going to get any water or ice on that Buffalo.
I like that. Step up, help out. Some fine young Buffalo fans out there.
Back to action. And a 4-point lead for the Buffaloes. Shaquan Aaron, the transfer from Louisville, in the game for USC, as is the freshman Jonah Matthews, who missed the 3. Nick Rakocevic, the offensive rebound. Offensive foul, wave it off. Chimezie Metu called for the charge.
And that's a tough call right there. Metu did everything he could to contain body control and not draw that foul. But as he floated, Daniels went straight up, set his feet. Easy call for the officials.
4th USC giveaway. Metu will leave as Buggs comes back in. Torrey Miller is in the ball game, a junior for Colorado, a 6'9" forward from Kansas City, Kansas.
See the Trojans flirting with their 2-3 zone, trying to.
Dominic Collier rattles out a long 3, but George King hustling for the rebound. Trojans collide into one another. And there's a foul called. It was Torrey Miller that caused that 2-car pileup there at the free throw line. Important game for both sides. Colorado, Corey, you can't label this game a must-win because there's still so much more to go in the season. but it's a game they really, really need to get.
Yeah, I would almost go so far as to call it a must-win. An 0-5 start in the Pac-12, as competitive as it's going to be, that's a very deep hole to be in.
My only problem with labeling it as a must-win is what happens if you don't get it.
That's true. The flip side. I mean, the Buffs are an experienced team. They've got, like you said, 4 fifth-year starters or seniors that are playing on this team, so they've got an experienced front line, probably the most experienced when you talk about inside guys. They've just got to find a way to turn that corner and get some wins. And like you said, there are 13 games left in Pac-12 play, but getting swept at home is never good.
Josh Fortune checks in for Colorado, the senior, the transfer from Providence, who started the first 16 games of the year off the bench in each of the last 2. Shot clock at 5. Derek White. Collier, long 3. And a foul on Charles Buggs, who fouled the three-point shooter, and Collier will head to the line for 3.
This is an absolute no-no in terms of defense against the zone. You don't foul the shooter. Shot clock winding down. You just want to contest. But right there, control your body. Make sure you don't land into the shooter. He's going to get 3. I mean, you had Colorado exactly where you want him. You let him off the hook with a silly foul.
60% foul shooter for Collier, a 2-time Colorado Mr. Basketball. Last year led Colorado in assists and steals. Started 33 of 34 games last year, but has only started 1 this year. They also missed 9 games because of that foot injury. But also the presence of Derek White for Tad Boyle has shuffled the deck a little bit. And it's made it very challenging to find minutes in the backcourt for Colorado this year. Not just for Dominique Collier, but for Thomas Akiazili as well. Collier goes 3 for 3, and the Buffs have scored 9 straight.
And Roxy, as you know, that's a good problem to have when you got quality guards and you're trying to find minutes for guys who actually can contribute and deserve to play. I think most coaches would agree it's not that bad.
Nick Rakocevic. Jonah Matthews drops it off with a slam from Chimezie Metu.
Metu so explosive, and there you see the penetration leading to that easy basket. When USC puts the ball on the court, you got to stay in front.
Metu is 6 of the Trojans' 8. Derek White from the corner. And a weak side rebound, a terrific offensive rebounder is Wesley Gordon. Josh Fortune, 3.
Things you can't do when you're playing zone defense. You can't give up the offensive rebound. The Bucks have grabbed 2, and you can't give up wide open 3s, and the Bucks have knocked down a couple. Great offense there.
More than a couple. Colorado has hit 5 of 9 from downtown. Oh. Foul called. I take that back. Not 5 of 9. They've hit 3 of 5 so far. And Nick Rakocevic to the line for USC. Good ball movement for the Trojans.
Great ball movement. They love to do the high pick and roll. They love to roll the big man right down the middle of the floor. USC, a team that could shoot well out of the pick and roll.
Rakocevic, a 61% foul shooter. And USC is a team at 72% as Bryce Peters in the game, the freshman from La Puente, California, is some good basketball bloodlines. His cousin Lamont Murray played a long time in the NBA, played at Cal, played against you in college, as did Tracy Murray, who had a great career at UCLA and also a 12-year run in the NBA, who works with the UCLA radio broadcast now, and a tie to USC. Cameron Murray, Tracy's younger brother, played at USC.
Well, that is a lot of connection.
Elijah Stewart to take away. And a foul is called on Torrey Miller, which forced Elijah Stewart out of bounds.
Great call right there by Andy Enfield. Little pressure, little token zone press. Results in the turnover. You want to speed Colorado up because they were playing handball the last couple possessions, and right there they got ahead of themselves and they were able to force a turnover.
So they're not calling a foul, they're just saying it was out of bounds off Colorado. Could have been the old force out play.
What did you guys
So it's a USC ball with the Trojans down 7. Stewart from deep, and his struggles continue. Stewart, the last 2 games, is just 3 for 11 from the floor. Has it knocked away as he tried to attack the basket. Collier a step back. 3. Bucks by 10. Last 4 field goals for Colorado have all been outside the arc. Chemezi meant to. Wow, what a move.
And they need to do more of that for USC. He's unstoppable in the one-on-one. They've got to give him the ball as he silences the crowd. Big-time play.
Peters, another 3 for Colorado.
Roxy, you can't take this many threes on the road in conference play. You've got to contest shooters. The crowd is into it, and everybody's got the hot hand for Colorado.
Just the 5th 3 of the year for the freshman Peters. Shaquan Aaron off balance, and it's cleared by Josh Fortune. George King in transition. And the rebound, D'Anthony Melton for the Trojans. USC running. Matthews missing a 3, and it's cleared by Josh Fortune for the Bucks. Running the floor for George King, broken up. Way to hustle back by USC. Colorado 5 of 8 from downtown and struggled from outside the arc so far this season. Meant to, the deep 2. Jonah Matthews the offensive rebound, and a nice move inside by the freshman.
Real nice hustle play there by Matthews. Nobody else went to the offensive glass. He just walked in there, grabbed the ball, took it right back to the 10.
His brother Jordan, a big win with Gonzaga last night over St. Mary's at the Kennel. And a steal by D'Anthony Melton. Melton runs the floor, 4 on 2. Jonah Matthews, and a foul. But all Colorado here in the recent minutes.
So many ways to contribute. It starts on defense. There you see Fortune with the rejection. And at the other end, the Buffs know what to do. Find the open man, knock down the triple. The Buffs are hot from the outside.
Well, for Colorado, they're in desperate need of a conference win and up 22-13 at number 25 USC. And Colorado trying for their 3rd win against a ranked team this season. And here's what's coming up next for the Buffs: a trip to Washington. And the Oregon schools come here before a Bay Area road trip. For Colorado, 0-4 start to the league. It's a bit deceiving again because of how challenging that schedule was for Tad Boyle and the Buffs to start, considering 3 straight road games. And your first home game was against number 4 UCLA.
Yeah, you know, it really is tough the way they started the season. But when you look at the upcoming games, there are no gimmies on that schedule. So you just have to find a way to start posting wins and turn that momentum around. You've got more than enough talent to be one of the top 6 teams in the Pac-12. They just got to start playing that way.
Jonah Matthews in the line, the freshman from Santa Monica. Shooting 2 here for USC as the Trojans hit 3 of their first 4 shots, but are just 3 of their last 10. Matthews a 67% foul shooter. And Andy Enfield was one of the great foul shooters in the history of college basketball. In his career at Johns Hopkins, Andy Enfield was a career 92.5% from the line. He scored over 2,000 points at Johns Hopkins.
Impressive numbers, and he said none of the guys challenge him to shoot free throws. They challenge him to play, but they don't challenge him at the free throw.
Well, the best shooter in the gym might be Andy Enfield. 3 off the mark from Bryce Peters. And he also has an NBA guy, Jason Hart, on his bench, who was a terrific player at Syracuse. Tad Boyle's a pretty good player in his own right, played for Larry Brown at Kansas. And also Josh Fortune is the top foul shooter in the Pac-12 at 90% for Colorado. As Chimezie Metu again. He has 10.
And they got to get back to basics. He's unstoppable on the block. If they go to double team, then it opens up everything for other players, but they've got to continue to get him the ball on the block.
Foul inside. It's on Jonah Matthews of USC. And his first foul. Thomas Akizili, the sophomore from Belgium for Colorado. Bit of a smaller lineup right now for the Buffs, with Xavier Johnson, the tallest guy on the floor, at 6'7".
They've shot the ball very well and played so well to get USC out of that zone.
Up the ladder is Peters, and a drive. And it's tipped out to D'Anthony Melton on the go. Step back three, way short from D'Anthony Melton. Andy Enfield's beside himself. That's not the shot he wanted.
I believe he'll have the opportunity to explain his shot selection to Andy Enfield in person as he heads to the bench. You pull up like that, that's a quick shot, no one else touches the ball, and you don't even draw iron. Yeah, you come have a seat.
What would Lute Olson do to you?
He wouldn't do anything until Monday. I'd have practice at 6 a.m. while everybody else didn't.
He wouldn't yank you out?
No, he'd just give you that look and hope you play through it.
And a turnover by Colorado, an over and back call. Buffs by 6. Tad Boyle, the Colorado Buffs, looking for an upset at number 25, USC.
Soon to be everywhere. And Degree Deodorant, it won't let you down. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the new Volkswagen Golf All-Track. Soon to be everywhere. And Degree Deodorant, it won't let you down.
Boulder, Colorado, for some Pac-12 hoops is the Buffs lead number 25 USC. Along with Corey Williams and our terrific ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you from a little over a mile high at the Coors Event Center on the campus, University of Colorado. Although they're known as CU, but yet they're the University of Colorado. Foul call on the drive. Kansas is that way also. They're known as the University of Kansas, but referred to as KU. Bryce Peters called for the foul. 5 team fouls of the Buffs.
There is only one UK. And that would be
the United Kingdom. Nick Rakocevic missing at the rim and fouled on a follow.
Good hustle there. As he goes up twice, offensive rebounds, kind of got fouled on the first attempt, but stayed with it. He'll get some free throws. And right now, the bigs for the Trojans are really the only bright spot.
2 shots for Nick Rakocevic, 1 of 2 at the line. May 8 starts this year for Andy Andrews. Freshman from Chicago. Top field goal shooter on this USC team. Andy Enfield thinks Rakocevic in a couple of years really could turn into a really nice weapon for USC. His size, his length. But the Trojans just 2 of 6 at the line.
Right now, being 2 of 6 from the line, they're 0 for 4 from downtown. But Metu, 83% from the floor. I think they need to run the offense through him until he cools off.
George King, a 3.
That's a clinic on ball movement right there by the Buffs, letting everybody get touches, finding the open guy.
Second 3 for King. Colorado now with 6 threes. Jonah Matthews missing. And the rebound, Wesley Gordon. Here comes Derek White. White, who sat out last year after the transfer from Division II. Practiced with Colorado. He's already scored in his college career close to 2,200 points.
Solid player, gives him some experience out front.
Long 2 by Chimezie Metu. Metu with 12 of USC's 18 points.
And he's so good. You have to let him have that 18-foot jumper, because if you crowd him, you're going to pick up fouls. He's going to blow right by you anyway. Just kind of hope that he misses his shot.
Inside to Xavier Johnson. Out of bounds. No, saved by Jonah Matthews, and here comes USC. Matthews moves in. He's bumped by Gordon. And a second on Wesley Gordon.
A lot of shooting and good percentages, knowing what a good shot looks like. There you see the inside out. He comes, and George King lines it up. But that's great offensive discipline. A lot of times when guys see zone, their eyes light up and everybody thinks they're open. But extra pass, Tad Boyle likes to see that.
So Gordon has to leave with the 2 fouls. It's also the 17th foul against Colorado. A 1-and-1 for Jonah Matthews, who's 1 of 2 at the line. In addition to his brother, Jordan, who's playing at Gonzaga. The last remaining unbeaten team in college basketball. His dad, longtime head coach at the University of San Francisco. USF Dons, now the head coach at Riverside Community College. Matthews hits both. USC down just 5 as Colorado is led by as many as 10. And now we'll see how this USC team can come up with some offense with Chimezie Metu getting a breather. Harris Henderson in. Harrison Henderson, the freshman from Dallas, is in. Here is Henderson. Elijah Stewart from deep. The rebound, Xavier Johnson. Stewart, who was scoreless, was 0 of 6 from the field in Salt Lake City on Thursday as Collier the miss. And hustling is Stewart for the loose ball. It's out of bounds to Colorado, and Shaquan Aaron is shaken up away for the play.
A little bit of a collision, but the hustle, Roxy, is what's keeping the Trojans in this one. They've given up some wide open threes, and the crowd's gotten into it. But plays like this, where there's a loose ball, and you see the Trojans sprinting and racing it down, trying to make every possession count.
And Shaquan Aaron is hobbling to the bench as he was hunched over just like that at the foul line for a good 10 seconds before anybody realized what was going on. And now he has enough energy to get over to the sideline and still trying to get over what's ailing. Xavier Johnson, and it's an offensive foul. And it's on George King of Colorado off the ball. And his second foul.
Solid defense there by the Trojans, Roxy. They stayed in front of their man. King tried to step in and post up, kind of put an elbow in the back of Stewart. It was an easy call to make, but USC hanging around with some solid defense.
There's a shot of Shaquan Aaron as Chimezie Metu comes back in for USC. As Aaron still hunched over in some pain, and you wonder if he got it below the belt.
You might be right.
Since the Buffs went up 10, they're just 1 of 7 for the field, and have committed 4 turnovers. The lead has dwindled down to 5, and USC has a chance to get even closer as Jordan McLaughlin with a wild shot. Dominique Collier, and Collier another 3. That's his second 3. He has 9 points to lead the Buffs.
McLaughlin over-penetrated, and when he didn't score, there was no defensive balance for the Trojans, and that's how they ended up taking another wide-open 3. Got to be careful when that point guard goes in. Somebody's got to get back.
Metu again. Boy, so impressed by Chimezie Metu.
He's tough. He's got the floater, the jump hook. He's got the outside jumper. He can finish on the pick and roll. He can catch lobs.
There's a foul. Anthony Melton called for it. And Metu has hit 7 of 8 from the field. And the rest of the USC team just 2 of 15.
Well, right now he's been The man, he's got the hot hand, and Colorado's playing him straight up. No double teams, no gimmicks, and he's making it happen.
He's been on a roll. He had 17 against Utah, the only USC player in double figures on Thursday, and had a season high 20 last Sunday night when you and I were at the Galen Center for USC and Cal.
Yeah, tremendous one-on-one player.
6-point lead for the Buffs on their home floor. And a beautiful Sunday night in Boulder. Point Colorado lead, and USC's within 6 because of the play of Chimezie Metu. He's the only thing that is keeping USC in this game right now.
He's got the hot hand, and they keep feeding him, but right now he's just doing things on his own. That's a great spin move in the lane. We talk about his touch, but plays like this where he puts the ball on the wood and just takes it to the rim, slasher, great finesse. You very rarely see big guys with that much touch, and he has the whole package. USC got to continue to put the ball in his hands, let him create. Colorado may have to try to find a solution for that, because right now he is doing a lot of damage.
So Metu doing all the damage. The rest of the USC team is 2 of 15 for the field. And Metu has been in double figures now in 13 of the last 14 games. Really has been blossoming here in his sophomore season. Collier off the feed from Josh Fortune, and Dominique Collier already with 11. He averages 5.5 a game.
Beautiful play right there. Sometimes you get things by going away from the ball. So many players want to come to the ball, get it in their hands, but Collier fakes to the screen, goes back door. Great pass.
Lord McLaughlin has been quiet for the Trojans. And here's Metu. And the jump hook by Metu.
Can we say that's all day, Roxy?
How could you stop him?
All day. If we were playing pickup, I would call his number non-stop. Unless you're going to double team him, he's up there alone by himself.
Offensive foul on Tory Miller for a push-off. His second foul. 9 turnovers by Colorado.
Great spacing here by Colorado. He's looking to come off the screen for the shot, but he changed his direction. Hits him on the run. That's just a great play. When you burn somebody back door, it stays in their mind, frees up a chance to shoot a 3 later.
You mentioned the double team, Corey. If you're Tad Boyle, is that what you throw at Chimezie Metu now?
You've got to lead. You're shooting extremely well from behind the arc. I think as long as they continue to struggle from the outside, as McLaughlin knocks down his first 3, maybe you just live with it.
First made 3 for the Trojans in McLaughlin's first points, and it's a 3-point game. Miller off balance, got it. Tough shot from Tory Miller.
Seeing some nice post play right now. I love it. Give it to the bigs. Let them work on guys. Jump hooks. One-on-one play in the post. That's what you teach your bigs. Check the defense. See where they are. Take a great big step to the middle. Nice over-the-top finish. Got a lot of quality guards right now, but like I said, seeing some great play from the big men.
Another 3 for McLaughlin. That one ripped off. And a foul going for the rebound, and it's on Colorado. And the Trojans to the line. It's the 3rd on Tory Miller.
Tory Miller made a mistake. He didn't put a body on Metu. He kind of just watched the ball. Metu gets up off the floor, keeps it alive for the Trojans.
And Metu will shoot 2 as USC in the double bonus. Crowd didn't like it here in Boulder. Metu is 74% foul shooter. And he gets the roll in the first one. Lucas Seward comes in the game for Colorado as Miller will have to sit with the 3 fouls. And Seward, he's from Brazil, although attended high school in LA. And Metu hits both. Chimezi Metu is 18 of USC's 29. He is a force. And you can just see the confidence growing, and a turnover by Colorado. It's their 10th.
And that's the second time they've slapped on that press and made the Bucks cough it up. Andy Enfield loving to go to that after a free throw.
Metu's season high is 20. His career high last year is 21 against UCLA. And he has now matched his season high. Timeout Colorado, and it's a one-point game. As Chimezi Metu dominating this game for USC.
They're finding him out of the pick and roll. They're finding him out of the pick and pop. They're getting him the ball on the move, and he's a real difficult player to stop because he's so talented. Here you see just a ball screen. He dives, they wait on him, and your rotation, your help, you're not going to stop him rotating a guard, as you see right there. The size is just too much as Metu flexing on him here in Boulder.
Tuesday on ESPN, another great doubleheader of hoops for you. We start in the SEC. Number 6, Kentucky takes on Ben Howland and Mississippi State in Starkville at 7. Then at 9, we head to the Big Ten, Michigan. And number 18, Wisconsin from the Kohl Center. Super Tuesday presented by CenturyLink. Also streaming live in the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Tad Boyle's team was up by 11. It's dwindled down to 1. Thanks to Chimezi Metu, who has 20 points already, tying a season high for USC.
Well, there's a couple of things that will continue. He'll continue to make layups unless they change defensively. The question for Colorado is they're 7 of 11 from downtown. Will they continue to be this hot? Right now, the Bucks enjoying some great outside shooting, but they've got issues on the defensive end.
Derek White moves in. And he's fouled by Metu, and 1, a hard fall for Derek White. And it's the second foul on Metu.
Smart move by the senior, not taking what you are given, but take what you want. Takes it right to the chest of Metu, gets the contact and the foul. 3 the hard way, but you talk about playing smart. That's what a senior knows. Don't come out jacking shots, take it right to the rim.
Derek White for the end one, 84% from the line. And now with 6, Dominique Collier leads Colorado with 11. And Metu is on the bench with his 20 points and 2 fouls. Shaquan Aaron, a 3. Nick Rakocevic, the rebound, had it stripped, picked up by Derek White. Here comes Colorado. Minute to go in the first half. And Derek White lost it out of bounds. Turnovers have been a real problem for Colorado. That's 11 by the Buffs here in the first half.
Colorado's great when they let the ball do the work. When guys start putting it on the deck, trying to create a little too much, gets crowded, things get out of whack, and you see the turnovers. They've had some real beautiful possessions where they've moved the ball and got open shots. They got to get back to that.
Nice pass inside to Nick Rakocevic.
USC is so tough, shooting that high percentage shot, living in the lane. They have yet to really make a big deal out of threes. They've only hit 1 or 2, I think. But right there, you see 2 feet away, high percentage shots.
Great feed from D'Anthony Melton. Collier scoops, left it short. Here come the Trojans and McLaughlin. A 5-on-1. Jonah Matthews lost him and run down by Melton. Matthews a 3. And the rebound, USC. And Shaquan Aaron with 7 seconds left in the half. Drives, feeds Rakocevic, and he's fouled with 3 seconds left in the half by Collier.
Wow, I am so impressed by the intensity of the Trojans right there. Back-to-back offensive rebounds. They've been fighting and clawing this entire game. They've taken runs from Colorado and answered with toughness and inside play. And they got a chance to send this thing in tied at halftime.
2 shots for Nick Rakocevic, 1 of 4 at the line. Andy Enfield's team down just 1, 3 seconds left in the half.
Roxy, you and I both know Jordan McLaughlin hasn't really checked in yet, so you can count this as a good half on the road for the Trojans.
Missed the second. Derek White into the front court. And he's off the mark, a little out of control. It's a one-point game at the half. Colorado by 1. But Chimezie Metu dominating for USC. 20 points and 9 of 10 for the field. Is already tied to season high. We got a tight one in Boulder between Colorado number 25 USC. To the studio, Brendan Fitzgerald and Dino Gaudio for the college basketball halftime report. Well, Chimezie Metu is already tied a season high. 20 points to lead USC. Showing off for us a little bit there, flexing his muscle. He's been doing that to keep USC in this game as number 25 USC down 1 to Colorado as we're getting ready to start the second half at Boulder, along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. Chimezie Metu, the only bright spot for USC in the first half. He's got them in this game. He's got them in the game with great one-on-one play, and that's what's really kept them. When they've taken runs, he's answered with big plays. He's unstoppable. They're one-on-one floaters, high percentage stuff, everything close to the basket. The Trojans haven't played great other than him offensively, but man, has he held it down, putting in a lot of work. Great touches. When he gets the ball, he makes quick, fast moves before anybody has a chance to do anything, and he's really a shining star right now. Metu 9 of 10 from the field. The rest of the USC team is just 4 of 21 from the floor. And the Trojans going 1 of 10 from outside the arc. Colorado 11 first half turnovers. They led by as many as 11 in the first half. They're 7 of 11 from downtown, just 5 of 13 inside the arc. Elijah Stewart scoops it up and in, and USC has their first lead. First lead since the early stages for the Trojans. Derek King answers. 8 of 12 from 3 now for the Buffaloes, and King is third 3.
Good action right there for the Buffs. Dive the big man, rotate to the open spot. They've been living off that three-pointer, and it continues to start the second half.
Anthony Melton spinning to the basket. And Derek White clears, and here comes the Buffaloes. Pull-up by White.
Big time play right there by White. He held on to the ball for the entire possession, but he used his ball screen and got to the elbow. Nobody around.
McLaughlin attacks. And he gets to the basket.
Right now, Colorado not doing a great job of containing penetration. Giving up finger rolls to guards, not something Tad Boyle wants to see defensively.
Wesley Gordon missed a 3. That's out of bounds to USC. Here are the first half stats. The three-point numbers for Colorado, but the 11 turnovers.
Yeah, you definitely want to contain, take better care of the ball, but 20 points in the paint, something you want to try to make an adjustment at halftime. This USC's come out with a couple of finger rolls, and they're a nice little pull-up.
We're tied at 40 as DeAnthony Melton pulls USC even. Almost 2 minutes into the second half. Oh, what a finish. George King. Look out. That was nice for him.
That was big time. That was next level right there.
Charles Buggs missing a 3. Xavier Johnson in the lane. Good defense by Buggs.
Late in the possession, you want to maintain position and not commit silly fouls.
Derek White, pull up 3. And there's King for the offensive rebound, and falling away, couldn't get the shot to go. And here's Elijah Stewart for USC. McLaughlin's open. Missed a wide open look.
Buffs dodged a bullet. They were one man short, gave up a wide open look.
And a travel on George King. Another turnover for Colorado.
Roxy, the defender was in trouble from the get-go. That's a 6 jab step, and right here, he just decides to take flight and drop the hammer. No help side had a chance. I'm going to nominate that. I like that. That's a top 10 in my book because it's great one-on-one, and he finished in traffic. Make the decision, take off, and put it down.
Here's Metu from the outside, and a long 2, and Chimezie Metu a new career high of 22 points. He has over half of USC's points tonight.
It's getting to the point now where you just may want to start to send him to the line. I mean, just someone step up, put some defense on him, and make him make plays. And if you have to foul him, foul him. But right now, he's just wide open, taking any shot he wants.
Wesley Gordon will go to the line. And that's the 3rd foul on Chimezie Metu.
That's a big one with 16 minutes to go. He only has 2 fouls that he can use for the remainder of the game, so it's going to limit him and limit his aggressiveness on the defensive end.
Leslie Gordon, a 68% foul shooter, missing the first, and Metu's coming out with the 3 fouls. And Shaquan Aaron replaces him. Colorado by 1. First point tonight for Gordon. Metu will have to sit for a little bit with the 3 fouls. Aaron on the attack. Jonah Matthews, 3.
USC, a team that could knock down the outside shot. They didn't shoot well in the first half, but if they get going, it could really cause some problems for Colorado. They already have it working on the interior.
Just the second 3 for the Trojans tonight. Deleon Brown, the freshman, and a foul off the ball. It's on USC. And it's on DeAnthony Melton, his second.
Well, Roxy, there are peasants and there are kings, and kings get it done.
I think Dr. King embodied being passionate because he stood up for something he strongly believed in and made a change in the world today.
It is Martin Luther King Day tomorrow.
Big day, great day, celebrating equality and fairness and all the things that Dr. King stood for. Time to reflect on a lot of those principles, and a lot of these young athletes understand the Dr. King legacy.
George King, who had a brief trip to the locker room, was back out on the bench for Colorado, as it's a 2-point lead for USC. The Trojans have come out of the locker room since halftime and made 5 out of 8 from the field. And Jordan McLaughlin getting involved, even though Chimezie Metu picked up his 3rd foul. Andy Enfield has Metu on the bench right now. USC is in the lead, and it matches their largest lead of the night.
Being the team on the road, there's not the pressure on the visiting squad, so they're kind of playing with house money. They haven't shot the ball well, but they've defended. They've forced a lot of turnovers, and that gentleman right there has put in a lot of work to get them in a good spot. But with 3 fouls, we'll see how long and how well they play without him.
First foul on Elijah Stewart is Colorado at 0-4 in Pac-12 play. They need a win desperately here tonight. And for USC, after starting the year at 14-0, they've lost 3 out of 4. And the Trojans just 2-3 in league play. And loss tonight would give them 3 straight losses. It's a foul committed by USC. It's their 4th team foul. And it's the 2nd on Elijah Stewart. And for Tad Boyle's team, they were 10-3 entering league play, but a very difficult schedule to start conference play. 3 straight road games and lost to UCLA here on Thursday night. The Bruins made 19 threes in the game, 9 of them by Bryce Alford.
Yeah, that game turned into a circus in the second half, and I had never seen this Colorado Buffs team not locked in defensively the way they weren't against the Bruins.
Tory Miller ties the game for Colorado. Stewart. Nice give and go with Rakocevic and Stewart, the reverse lay-in.
So pretty, the ball movement, the back cuts, and you wonder how they're going to continue to manufacture offense. That's a great play, just a little two-man game.
Inside to Tory Miller. And Miller, soft touch, got the roll.
And right now, Miller and Johnson can do a lot of damage for the Buffs on that block. See if they go back to that.
Dominique Collier leads Colorado, as does George King, 11 points apiece. Jordan McLaughlin short of three, got his own miss, and the shooter's able to run down the miss. Nobody put a body on the shooter, and McLaughlin made him pay for it.
And Roxy, you and I both know Tad Boyle very well. And when a point guard misses a three and gets his own rebound for a layup, that's not a good sign. That's the kind of stuff you call timeout, get after some guys.
Offensive foul on Xavier Johnson of Colorado, his first foul.
Here you see Stewart, nice little move, give and go, nobody home, no weak side rotation, great play. But right here, you fall asleep and give up the wide open three. Nobody boxes out, and the little fella with the floater in the lane. Those are the tough baskets that you want back. You don't want to give up those cheap baskets.
Elijah Stewart short of the three, and Tory Miller the rebound for the Buffs. Derek White hits the rim twice, and Nick Rakocevic clears for USC. Rakocevic to the basket. The follow by Shaquan Aaron, his first points of the night, gives the Trojans their biggest lead.
And another offensive rebound. Guys just asleep out there, not putting a body on the Trojans. They're just walking in.
4-3 tonight for George King.
Boys, he's having a monster game for the Buffs. He started off knocking down his first shot and hasn't slowed up since.
1 point game. Jonah Matthews from the corner. And the rebound knocked out of bounds, but a foul. Chris Rastatter's pointing the other way, but I think this foul's going on Colorado will stay at this end of the floor. And that indeed is the call, and it's on Tory Miller, his fourth foul with 12:34 to play.
Another situation where the Trojans hustling after the ball, able to draw the push foul, keep possession. This will be the third trip down the floor where USC will get 2 shot attempts. Sometimes they end up getting 3.
.34 to go. Chimezie Metu has been sitting for quite a bit here.
Yeah, and they're getting...
And Wesley Gordon blocks the shot of Charles Buggs. As Gordon, number 2 in Colorado history in blocks, but a steal. And Elijah Stewart cleans it up for the Trojans.
The Trojans are just out hustling Colorado, and very scrappy, very tenacious. There's a missed layup, and then you see another red jersey right there on the spot to pick it up.
Wesley Gordon to the line, the second on Charles Buggs.
Pac-12 play is physical, and it's all about energy. There you see Gordon with the block, but you never give up as the Trojans fighting their way back, getting turnovers and buckets. We've got a great one here in Boulder.
Colorado from long range, Corey. That's been their strength tonight.
Well, you're only getting 5 points and 8 rebounds from your big man. The guards have stepped up and knocked down shots and given the productivity. Good penetration, good ball movement. The ball doesn't stick. And they've been dialing it in from long range. Had it not been for the threes, this would be a much different game.
They made 9 threes, 9 twos. She's happy for now, though the scorer right now is not what she wants. She likes three-point shooting.
Hey, As open as they've been, she could probably hit a couple of those tonight.
Tad Boyle's team 0-4 in conference play, as Chimezie Metu has returned to the floor for USC. But they're in desperate need of a win tonight on their home floor. They do not want to be swept their first 2 home conference games and fall to 0-5 in league play. As Wesley Gordon now 2 of 3 at the line, and Metu is back in with a career-high 22. While USC, after that 14-0 start, they don't want to lose 4 out of 5. And they have Arizona looming on Thursday.
Absolutely, they go down and play Arizona, and you're looking at the psychology of basketball. It's about momentum. It's about streaks. You don't want to start 0-5. You don't want to go with 4 out of 5 losses, but that will be the reality for one of these 2 teams. And how do you bounce back from that?
Anthony Melton into the key. Gordon blocks a shot from behind. Bryce Peters to the basket. And the follow by Josh Fortune, and we're tied. Tad Boyle urging the crowd to get into it here in Boulder. To shoot, step back from Shaquan Aaron.
That was a dagger. We haven't heard the gym that loud all night. And to take that step back pull up took a lot of courage, but he knocked it down.
And an offensive foul on Fortune. The second foul on the senior.
Colorado wanting to get out in transition. That's what it's about. They make the play and come down court all the way to the rim. That when Metu commits to trying to block, it clears the way for Fortune in the follow. That's probably the easiest 2 points the Bucks have had all night.
15th Colorado turnover tonight. Jordan McLaughlin back in the game. D'Anthony Melton short on the 3 and the rebound to Derek White. White attacks. Xavier Johnson on the offensive glass. And we're tied again.
Xavier Johnson, where have you been? Just 6 points for him. He's a guy who can do 17 and 10 pretty easy.
Foul on the drive. On Bryce Peters, his second.
This is the type of activity the Bucks need out of him. When that shot goes up, be active. Right here, the guard forces the issue, and then you see Xavier taking it in right to Metu, who has the 3 fouls.
And his first points of the game since the first couple of minutes. Anthony Melton rattles out and follows up his own miss again. The inability of Colorado to box out of the defensive glass.
Shooter should not be able to get his own offensive rebound, and I guarantee you the Bucks will be looking at that kind of stuff in film.
Alan D'Anthony Melton of USC, his third. Tad Boyle, his team down 2. They have dominated this series since Colorado joined the Pac-12. They've won 7 of the 8 meetings from USC. In all time, Colorado's a perfect 5-0 in Boulder against the Trojans. Josh Fortune a deep 3. Derek White the offensive rebound, poked out of bounds by McLaughlin. And it stays with the Buffaloes.
And right now, Roxy, the Trojans go into that 2-3 zone, probably trying to change the tempo, but at the same time, protect Metu with his 3 fouls.
Inside, and Johnson who lays it in to tie the game. Shaquan Aaron is fouled. And 2 free throws coming up for the Louisville transfer. It's the third on Bryce Peters.
Right here, you see Derek White, just the penetration and leaving it at the last second. As Xavier slides along that baseline, that's a great look.
Aaron is 68% foul shooting. Former Washington Player of the Year. Initially played his freshman year in Louisville and transferred to USC. Sat out last year, and he gives the Trojans a 2-point lead.
I think he's going to be some player. He's already got outstanding athleticism, can pull up off the dribble. As he gets bigger and stronger, he's going to be a great player for Andy Enfield.
Called for his first foul. The Buffs are in the bonus. And a 1-and-1. 8:48 remaining. Derek White, the 1-and-1, and 84% foul shooting. 1 of 1 at the line tonight. And he missed, but George King, the offensive rebound. Off the missed free throw, it's the third on Elijah Stewart as King will head to the line. 7 offensive rebounds for the Buffs in the second half.
They have picked up their intensity in terms of hitting the glass. A lot of times they tend to shot watch when they're shooting those threes. Guys were just standing around looking, seeing if the ball went in. But right now, they're being a lot more active.
One more for King. 71% foul shooter. Stewart now with 3. George King, 14 points to lead Colorado tonight. Last year was the most improved player in the Pac-12, but he missed both. 2 good foul shooters step up to the line, and Colorado comes up 0 for 3. One Aaron. And the rebound, Josh Fortune. Loose ball. Gordon tracks it down for Colorado. King from the corner. And it's tipped out of bounds by Nick Rakocevic, and a Colorado ball. Game has featured 7 ties. Already 3 lead changes in the second half alone. And Colorado led by as many as 11 in the first half.
I think the first team to string together 3 or 4 stops in a row is going to end up pulling this one out. It's just a question of who that will be.
Baseline jumper too strong from White. Kept alive by Colorado, but then they lost it. Elijah Stewart down the lane. And Stewart will head to the free throw line as USC and the Trojans leading on the road here in Boulder against the Colorado Buffaloes. Tonight, after the Bulls and Grizzlies, catch Sports Center at 9 with John Anderson and Chris Hassel. We'll have the highlights and breakdowns from the Steelers, Chiefs, Packers, Cowboys. Sorry, Corey. As well as the NBA, NHL, college hoops, the Sony Open, everything else from your Sunday. Wrap up your weekend with Sports Center at 9 on ESPN, also streaming live. The ESPN app, watch ESPN. The top performers for the weekend, Lonzo Ball and UCLA coming out of Salt Lake City with a win. Tight one, and Stanford had to hold off Washington after the Cardinal had a huge lead. Although Reed Travis was injured in the game yesterday for Stanford. And Oregon just blitzed Oregon State in a Civil War in Eugene. And Cal yesterday, a solid win over Washington State and Berkeley.
So impressed with Lonzo Ball going into the hostile environment of the Huntsman Center, really gutting it out for the Bruins as they continue to play well in conference.
Elijah Stewart at the line, 75% on the year. The junior, originally from Louisiana, but attended high school in LA at Westchester. And he originally signed with Loyola Marymount, and then was let out of his letter of intent when Max Good, the coach at LMU at the time, was fired. He decided to stay in LA and just move over toward downtown at USC. Josh Fortune, a sweeping hook. Rebound, King for Colorado. Has it stripped. Loose. Picked up by Peters for the Buffaloes. 5 to shoot. White a 3. Rims out the rebound, controlled by the Trojans and D'Anthony Melton.
Good possession for Colorado there. They came up with a couple of offensive rebounds and are able to get a good look.
Jordan McLaughlin can't get it to go, and it's cleared by George King. Trojans have gone 3 minutes now without a bucket. Inside 7 minutes to go. Off of D'Anthony Melton, 12 to shoot for the Buffaloes as Xavier Johnson coming back. Freshman Peters had it poked away by McLaughlin, and a steal for USC. Elijah Stewart off on the 3, and the rebound secured by Derek White for Colorado.
Back-to-back bad offensive plays by both teams. That one-on-one in traffic ended up with losing the ball, and right there, that shot was way too quick, as USC's had more success passing it around.
George King missing a 3, and it's Jonah Matthews clearing the rebound. USC, the three-pointer has not been their game tonight. They're just 2 of 18 from outside the arc. And Chimezie Metu, after 20 points in the first half, has just 2 here in the second, but yet USC has the lead. It spins out for Metu. The tip for Melton won't go, and it's cleared by Wesley Gordon.
Big rebound for Gordon there. Looked like the Trojans were going to get a second opportunity. Another ball handling turnover.
Bryce Peters lost it. Elijah Stewart. Melton swatted by White, and now Stewart is rejected, but a foul on Derek White is first.
Right here, White doesn't like the call, but this is great hustle. He rotates over, goes straight up, gets the block, then he gets a nice second effort, but he gets a piece of forearm. He doesn't like the call. It's pretty obvious, but the question is, where are the rest of the Buffs? White's making 1-2 efforts on the ball. Guy's got to come over, trying to do everything himself. Got to hustle back and rotate over.
.539 to go, and Elijah Stewart has gone to a knee. Now is up on his feet, heading toward the line. First one is good by Stewart. 2 of 3 at the line as the officials had to tell the PA announcer to make an announcement over the PA to stop throwing items on the court as fans objected to the call and launched a few things onto the floor here in Boulder. And USC is their largest lead of the night. They're up 5. Trojans 11 of 17 at the line, while Colorado shot only 11 free throws tonight. Buffs in desperate need of a hoop here. And a foul will put Xavier Johnson at the line. It's the 9th USC team foul. And it's the 2nd on Jonah Matthews.
That's not a good foul for Jonah Matthews, and he knows it. You've got Xavier Johnson in the ball screen, 25 feet from the rim. No need to commit that foul.
Get the bonus now. 68% from the line this season for the 5th-year senior Johnson, who missed last year with a torn Achilles. Inching toward the top 20 in Colorado history in scoring, but he only gets 1 out of 2. to shoot for the Trojans.
You see a nice job by Gordon defensively, making it a little bit harder from the 2 to get the ball. Do yourself a favor if you can just keep him from getting it right there. He just contested the post entry. See if USC goes back to it.
McLaughlin. And a foul. It's called on Wesley Gordon of Colorado, his 4th. So Gordon with 4, Torrey Miller has 4. And McLaughlin will get a 1-and-1 as Metu has only taken 2 shots here in the second half after that monster first half.
They haven't gotten him the ball, and I think the foul trouble affected him a little bit. We'll see how he finishes the last 5 minutes of this game.
USC 6 of 7 at the line here in the second half. One more for Jordan McLaughlin. Chimezie Metu does have a career-high 22. And McLaughlin hits both, and USC now leads it by 6. It's their largest lead of the night. Xavier Johnson can't get that one inside. It's cleared by D'Anthony Melton.
They've got a mismatch with Metu. If they can try to find it, McLaughlin signals for the clear out. They're going to try to post.
McLaughlin missing across the key, and here comes Colorado. Boy, does Tad Boyle's team need a bucket. King down the lane. In and out, the rebound, Chimezie Metu. It was all the way down and it popped out for George King.
You know, Roxy, both of these teams go about 7 deep, and you're starting to see signs of fatigue. Guys not knocking down shots that were dropping early on. A lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls.
Colorado's gone over 5 minutes now without a bucket. Travel on D'Anthony Melton. And a turnover. Colorado needs a push. They're in danger of falling to 0-5 in league play, while the Trojans trying to get back into the win column here.
20 seconds to go. The Trojans try to play for the win.
McLaughlin around Singer, and USC leads. It's a 1-point lead for the Golden Bears. McLaughlin near midcourt. McLaughlin to the basket. Blocked by Rabb, and Cal survives, and they've won. We had a feeling this game was going down to the wire, and at the rim, Ivan Rabb preserves the game for California. And that was a huge win for Conzo Martin's Cal Bears over USC last Sunday night at the Galen Center in LA. And Cal's at 4-2 now. Oregon, Arizona remain unbeaten in conference play. UCLA just that one loss, the buzzer beater from Dylan Brooks in Oregon to open up Pac-12 play. And Utah with their win over USC Thursday and lost to UCLA yesterday at 3-2. And there's the Trojans at 2-3, and a win will get them back to 500 in league play. And a USC team that started the year 14-0. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Now Colorado in danger of falling to 0-5 in conference play. Collier missing a 3. And Miller saves it from going out of bounds off of Shaquan Aaron. And it'll stay with Colorado in a fresh shot clock. 10th offensive rebound, by the way, for the Buffs in the second half. The last field goal that Colorado made was a layup by Xavier Johnson with 9:06 remaining. Almost 6 minutes ago.
They've had some good looks. They forced a few plays and turned it over.
And ending the drought is Derek White for the Buffs.
And at 6'5", once he gets going and gets his body going to the rim, he's going to convert a lot of buckets for the Buffs this year. It's a size advantage.
Jonah Matthews is open for three. Timeout USC. And it's a 7-point lead for the Trojans, and the freshman buries a three from the corner, and it's USC's largest lead of the night. Coming up, there'll be a preview of the McDonald's All-American Spotlight. We go beyond the bucket. So the McDonald's All-American roster's coming up after the ball game. It's USC by 7, and it's time for a weekly installment of Beyond the Bucket with Corey.
Well, everybody's wondering where all these top high school players are going to end up. And when you take a look at All-Americans, you see the ACC sits atop with 24 in the last 4 years, going to schools like North Carolina and Duke. Pac-12 right there with 15, and the Big 12 and the Big 10. Kansas has a lot of those Big 12 guys going there. But Kentucky, second only to the ACC. They've got more than most conferences. John Calipari doing a great job embracing the one and done, and he gets his hand on a lot of great talent.
7-point lead for USC, despite Chimesi Metu with just 2 points since halftime. And George King has been quiet here in the second half. He has not scored in the last 10 minutes. And Dominique Collier at 11 in the first half has not scored in the second half. There is King. He must have hurt me.
And it's guts time right now. Down 7 with a couple of minutes to go. King gets him a well-needed bucket. The crowd back into the game. You feel like Colorado has to make a push here, and it starts on the defensive end.
Jonah Matthews to the basket. And it's knocked out of bounds by Derek White. 7 on the shot clock for USC.
And this is just senior leadership and effort. The shot goes up. King doesn't stay out there in the corner. He comes right in the lane, mixes it up, and gets the teardrop over Metu for the bucket. And that's what you got to do. You got to go get it in crunch time.
And the officials would go to the monitor here just to double check and make sure they got the call right on the floor. And that it'll stay with USC. 1:59 remaining. And since we're under 2 minutes, the officials can go to the monitor and check and see who indeed it went out of bounds off of.
A little shovel pass in traffic. Trying to figure out who touched it last. That's a tough call.
It did appear to go off Derek White on the way out of bounds.
White did a good job of breaking up that shovel pass. That would have been a for sure 2.
Again, the call on the floor is USC ball. And I don't think there's enough there to overturn it. Here's one more look, but it didn't appear to hit Derek White last.
Yeah, Derek White hustles down and rotates over. You have the big to come take away the layup, and then Derek White slides right in there. You'll see his left hand knock that ball.
I mean, the only question is, did it hit Chimesi Metu's left hand after it hit off of White? I don't think there's definitive proof that it did.
No, I don't think you can see it from the angle that the camera had. But the Buffs have an issue right here. 7 seconds to go. Obviously, you don't want to foul. This is an inbounds play, so you go over these and shoot around in practice. You have to see the ball, and you have to be alert.
USC ball, 7 on the timer. Chimesi Metu. Wild shot over Gordon. Here's King. Xavier Johnson makes it a 1-possession game. Timeout, Tad Boyle in Colorado as XJ, 42% three-point shooter, pulls the Bucks within 2.
We talked about senior leadership, and there you see them playing together. King getting in for that offensive rebound on the prior possession, and on this possession, he goes strong to the hole, finds his homie out top, knocks it down, and the Buffs are back within 2. But this is a great look. It's about trust. When you play with a guy for a number of years, taking it to the lane, giving it up, making the smart basketball play. Xavier Johnson being big in crunch time.
12 for Johnson, 8 have come in the second half. So with a minute 39 remaining, it is a 2-point game in favor of USC, and the Trojans have the ball.
And if you're the Buffs, you're not in a hurry, no need to press, no need to gamble. There's not even really a need to double team ball screens. Stay in front of the offensive player and try to come up with a defensive rebound. And if you're USC, you want to do what you've been doing all game. Beat him off the dribble, create rotations, and get wide open threes or layups. Tad Boyle stressed this morning they needed to contain the ball handler. Don't get beat off the dribble.
Jordan McLaughlin. Anthony Melton drives. Melton. And the rebound, Xavier Johnson. Timeout, Colorado. Down 2 with the ball, 1:04 to play, and the Buffs call time. And again, a reminder coming up next here on ESPNU. It is the McDonald's All-American Selection Show. Matt Schick, Paul Biancardi, ESPN's National Recruiting Director, standing by. Speaking of that, recently USC got a big commitment from Charles O'Bannon Jr., who is number 34 in Paul Biancardi's ESPN 100. Charles O'Bannon Jr., whose dad won a national championship playing for UCLA, but Junior's committed to go to USC.
Who would have ever thought that? That is something that I haven't played against.
You played against Dad.
Yes, I did. And, you know, diehard Bruin, but hey, things change. Those are some awfully big shoes to fill. So if you want to stay home and kind of keep that shadow off of you, maybe not a bad choice. Stay home and play for the Trojans.
Tough loss for UCLA in the recruiting front.
Oh, absolutely.
But Steve Alford's not crying because they've got a wealth of talent. There's a tie-up. Arrow to Colorado.
Colorado very lucky. He just lost the handle here as he comes around. He's lucky to dive on it and force the jump ball. Buffs have 14 seconds to get a good shot. Can't get a good shot, try to draw some contact and get to the free throw line.
Here's White. Drives. Lost it out of bounds. Deflected out by SC as the Trojans want the officials to look at the monitor. 7 to shoot.
I think they should take a look at this.
Andy Enfield is barking at the officials and Larry Spalding and Michael Reed to have them take a look and make sure the call's correct.
Does look like Melton dug the ball out there.
And they will. So another official review here with 51.4 remaining and 7 on the shot clock. And the call on the floor is Colorado ball. 67-65 Trojans. Here's a look. As Anthony Melton gets his hand in there and pops it free from Derek White, who was the last one to touch it. Tough call. I think they're going to stick with it.
And they should. The defender obviously caused them to lose the ball, regardless of which way the ball ended up going.
So after the official review, stays with the Buffaloes. Again, short on time on the shot clock. Derek White. Over to Xavier Johnson, a 3. Got it! Colorado has the lead. Desperation 3 by Xavier Johnson. The officials are going to check the monitor one more time to see if he got it off before the shot clock expired. The call on the floor made 3. And they'll stick with it. The senior comes up big for the Buffs.
A play like this, it kind of broke down. There was nobody open. They wanted the handoff. And right there, an unselfish play. Xavier Johnson somehow got it up, and he hit nothing but net. How big has he been down the stretch for Colorado?
Just didn't get it off. 1-point lead for the Buffs. 12-second differential. They go to Chimezie Metu. Jump hook, got it. Metu puts the Trojans back on top. 24 for the sophomore. And Colorado uses their final timeout with 24.6 remaining. USC clinging to a 1-point lead. Clutch shots at both ends. First, it was Xavier Johnson for Colorado.
I mean, believe it or not, there's not a whole lot of pressure on a shot like this. The shot clock's winding down. You have to shoot it, and as an offensive player, you know they're not going to foul you. So right there, he toes the line and gets it up. And at 6'7", he can see over the defender, but that's just a heck of a shot. And at the other end, the two really not that comfortable looking for somebody, and then he decides to just throw up the jump hook, and that's nothing but bottoms as he stares down the crowd. Big time plays at both ends.
Colorado had scored 8 straight until that Metu shot. 69-68 USC, 24.6 remaining, and if you're Tad Boyle in Colorado, you're down 1 at home. How do you handle this offensive sequence?
Well, I definitely put White in some sort of a ball screen, possibly with Johnson, have him attack the rim. If they rotate to Johnson, then you swing the ball. But if White can turn the corner, he's got the size to finish at the rim and try to draw a foul. What you don't want is taking a jumper where it's all or nothing with no time left. You want to get something up towards the rim with about 4 or 5 seconds to go in case you need a foul.
Xavier Johnson leads the Buffs here in the second half as George King has 16 tonight to lead Colorado. The Buffs have made their last 4 field goals. They need another one. Here's that ball screen. George King in the lane. And King throws up a wild shot. He was challenged by Metu, and a foul, and Elijah Stewart will go to the line with 12.4 remaining. It's the 9th Colorado team foul, a 1-and-1.
Roxy, we talked about the development of Metu, the discipline. The guy brings it right to your chest in crunch time. You go straight up, and that's a high degree of difficulty. Great defensive sequence there for the Bruins. King needed to do a little bit more to draw some contact, maybe come to a jump stop and shoot the fadeaway.
Elijah Stewart, 3 of 4 at the line tonight, a 1-and-1. Colorado does not have a timeout. USC has 2. Elijah Stewart now with 10. And all 11 for Stewart have come in the second half. And it's a 3-point lead for USC, 12.4 remaining. And the Trojans take a timeout. So if you're Andy Enfield in USC, Colorado has to have a 3 to tie. Do you foul?
I have never been a fan of intentionally giving people points. I've always played in a program at Arizona where you have to earn your points. We're not going to give you points. We've trusted our defense more than we worried about your free throw percentage. So I've never been in situations where coaches have told us to give guys free throws. We just say, hey, don't foul the shooter, contest, and with a hand up, you would hope that you could drive that 3-point percentage down.
And the next foul puts Colorado into the double bonus. So USC at 9 team fouls. So is Colorado, by the way.
What a lot of coaches will do, they'll let you run a little time, and they'll commit the foul and try to shorten the game, give you 2 points, but make you waste 4 or 5 seconds before they give it to you.
Colorado's hit 11 threes tonight. Derek White goes to the basket. The kick out to George King. King, desperation 3, and it's no good. And USC escapes Boulder with a win. The Buffs fall to 0-5 in Pac-12 play. And the Trojans, who had lost 3 out of 4 after that 14-0 start, get a split on the road and head home for Arizona.
The Trojans fought hard. They were scrappy. They hustled. They forced turnovers. And they rode the big man all game long to get a gutsy, hard-to-get Pac-12 road win.
Led by a career-high 24 points from Chimezie Metu, Andy Enfield's Trojans, now 16-3. And Colorado falls to 10-8 on the season. As a strong second half by USC, they trailed by as many as 11 in the first half. For Corey Williams, I'm Roxy Bernstein, 71-68. USC the winner. Coming up next, the McDonald's All-American Selection Show. Matt Schick and Paul Biancardi.